Are we going to have some news, are we?
Oh, yeah. Because, we're comedy, so we're having a news segment.
Yeah, a really topical news segment. This is the latest news. Homeless community house big secret. Glass palace to be built a stone's throw away from quarry. And today we say goodbye to Bobo, who plunged to his death after performing the first mimed bungee jump. I fucked that one up. But now we've got some more breaking news, so we're over to Chris Morris.
24 Live now stays with those terrorist attacks in New York and Washington, both towers now gone. Later, what is a hijacked airliner and how does it crash? But first, our correspondent Peter O'Hanrahan is in New York at the moment. He went there to cover the World Trade Organization talks, due to start today at the World Trade Center. He's on the line now. Peter, where are you and what's going on?
It's a clear, crisp morning in New York, Chris. Crackle of anticipation among the delegates at breakfast. A lot at stake here. These talks could be the big yes or no for the Eastern economies.
Right, so Peter, can you tell us exactly what the situation is currently in New York?
Well, the situation, I'd say, it's eggs over easy for the Germans, eggs over not bad for the Japanese, and eggs over pretty grim for the Russians.
So the meetings are going ahead?
That's right, Chris.
And where are they being held?
Here at the World Trade Center.
You're at the World Trade Center?
Yes.
Whereabouts exactly in the World Trade Center are you?
I'm in the restaurant, the windows on the World Restaurant, Chris. Floor 107, sipping a cappuccino.
Floor 107 no longer gives a particularly good view of New York.
Well, it does from where I'm sitting,
It's
Chris.
now part of the basement.
I think pulling my leg, Chris.
Are you near a television?
Yes. I don't
I'd
see
like
the
you to turn it on.
I'm going to a television in the restaurant. There's one of those.
Yes, just
ones
get on
in
with
the
it,
corner.
please.
Right, the television's on.
Tell me what you can see.
Well, it's quite bizarre. I'm actually looking at an image of the World Trade Center. I could almost be looking at myself if I waved.
What can you see?
Well, there's a plane in one of them. Yeah, actually, we didn't hear that. The sound insulation in these buildings is extraordinary. There is a plane that...
Keep watching, Peter.
What? Oh, my God. One of the towers has collapsed. Fortunately, not the one I'm in. The one I'm in is one of the tower. The other tower, the tower I'm in is collapsing. I'm collapsing, Chris, under the sheer... I've managed... I'm out. I'm very run. I'm not there.
Where are you?
I'm in a hotel in Midtown, the Marriott, my hotel, in my room.
Why did you say you were at the World Trade Center?
Because that's where I was supposed to be this morning.
You overslept.
I slept longer than I'd anticipated.
Would you like to revise your appraisal of the situation in New York in light of what you've just gleaned?
Yes, I can, Chris.
Go ahead.
I'm a man standing at a window of his hotel room. Very grey day. A very grey day for the world, Chris. It seems like a movie...
Peter, you've added nothing. That's Peter O'Hanrahan from New York on a day which would go down as a... Be quiet!
That was Chris Morris from The Day Today reporting on September the 11th back in 2001. Very serious. If you hadn't heard about September the 11th, look it up. It's,
It's pretty bad. It was pretty bad, I thought.
Yeah.
It wasn't pretty.
No.
In an even bigger news item, though, we can confirm that James does in fact outrank Jerry Adams.
Yeah.
So
pleased with that.
Do you want to do an impression of Jerry Adams reacting to the news that he's outranked by James?
I couldn't give a bollocks.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
I think right now we've got a...
Continuing with the news, we move over to a special investigative report by our investigative journalist, Dirk Carshalton. Dirk Carshalton investigates, punching the facts in the stomach until they vomit up the truth. Da 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 da. Is there AIDS in my coffee? Is someone raping my children? How many drugs does that man have concealed up his anus? All very important questions, but each one is being asked all the time. I can't remember the last time I was on a bus and didn't overhear somebody discussing one of these issues with their journeying companion. Actually, as the heavily influential broadcaster, journalist and media figure that I am, I'm far too important to take the bus, so that question would be equally valid were it shortened to, I can't remember the last time I was on a bus. But anyway, I feel that the heavy media coverage of these gargantuan topics leaves another topic overshadowed. Unfortunately, this issue is probably more important than the others, but people don't notice it, like a black mamba snake hiding in the shadows of the massive swinging gonads of a nearby lion. The issue I'm talking about is, of course, the underground and highly illegal phenomenon known as Lee clubs. These clubs get their name from the German phrase lustig, erotic, Erfahrung, shortened to L-E-E, which in English means fun, sexy experience. Unfortunately, this name covers up the true horror of these clubs, which would be much more appropriately called bastard clubs. I can't think of any acronyms for bastard, and when I tried an online acronym generator, I was only given bring appropriate censor to ape resurrection duty. But it's still a more appropriate name. I'd heard horrific stories of these league clubs, as I'm sure many of you have, but they were mere rumours, and I wasn't sure whether or not to believe them, as these rumours tend to pop up all the time. I'm sure many of you will remember the widespread rumour about the crazed scientist who had created a gibbon-ostrich hybrid, named it Susan Peterson, dressed it in a dapper suit and bowler hat and released it into the streets of Dublin. This rumour did the rounds for nearly an entire month before it was revealed that Susan Peterson was in fact merely an Armenian immigrant who had been involved in an unfortunate incident involving an industrial loom and a slightly too long scarf. Now, I'm sure you would agree that it is my duty to report the full story as quickly as possible in order to expose the horrible truth, but I'm being paid by the article, and by dragging it out, I will earn more money to fund my crazy drug and hooker habit. I have niche tastes. Damn, I didn't need to say that. As such, I will be publishing the concluding part of my report at a later date. P.S. If you work for a league club and want to kill me in order to silence me, be warned. My house is guarded by 2 trained attack condors named Jeffrey and Jean-Michel, so don't even bother. Carshalton out. Da 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 da. So that's the news. Well,
I get undressed, I start to lube. I stick the gerbil in the end of the tube, wondering just how he'll feel. Will he like it better than his little wheel? Careful now, he's right beside me. One more inch and he's inside me. Get you out. So now my gerbil's on easy street. It's warm and cozy and there's plenty to eat. The situation is beyond my control. Gotta find a way to get him out of his hole. I try crowbars, I try wires. I almost hurt him with a pair of pliers. I tried cheese, but he's not biting. I wish this wasn't so exciting. Go, gerbil, go. Jesus, I am such a sucker. Please get out, you furry. I think I am getting ill. Suddenly, he's very, very still. Now it's too late, my gerbil died. I guess I have committed gerbicide. Here's some advice, it's very clear cut. If you love your gerbil, don't stick him up your butt. Don't stick him up your butt. Little furry gerbil in your booty hole. Don't stick him up and put him in the earth and I won't come out and I'm all out and I'm skid of a yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, that was Gerbil by Stephen Lynch. Yeah, so that's probably a warning not to do that. It could get pretty severe. But the previous link was an article.
Yeah, you may have been wondering what you were listening to there.
Yeah. It was an article that was published very, very briefly in
published in the loosest sense of the word.
Published and then shredded or destroyed, as we were told. But in the Farce, which was this year's Comedy Soc magazine,
and it was meant to be in the goodie bag because we were handing out at Freshers Week. You know, we had great articles introducing people to Trinity, and then we also had that article. But for some reason,
some people found it to be offensive.
Yes, and the magazine got banned.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was just that. I think I don't think people dealt too well with the picture of a banana carved into the shape of a penis. I think that might have been a bit dodgy as well.
Do you know what? I think they should have just been pleased with the effort because, you know, most people would have just gone, oh, a banana. That's vaguely penis shaped. You know, this one is actually carved into the shape of a penis. It's, you know, it's a good sculpting job.
yeah, that's time and effort. That's a lovingly crafted penis right there.
Yeah. It's good work. It's good work.
But sadly, people were unable to read that, so we thought we'd bring them a taster.
Yeah.
And, you know, next time we do a show, we might read something else, such as Val's first year advice column, which, hopefully we'll have Valerie here next time. She hasn't shown up today, which, you know, may be disappointing, may not. Okay.
Could be a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
We don't know.
She may have come in here and broken everything.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible.
Yeah, so I guess we just... one thing, just in the absence of Valerie, we're just going to bring her spirit here, and I'm just going to tell you just one or two of the actual advice pieces that she had in her advice column. One of them was, never talk to fat people. Some people mistake this as charitable, when in fact you are just preventing them from what they do best, eating. Standing beside fat people is allowed, however, as they will make you look skinnier. Which I think is a great piece of advice.
I think that's great advice.
You know, another one is, you know, constantly tell stories in which you are the main contributor to the entertaining event, and finish every sentence with classic me, which is another good one, I think, because then everyone's like, oh, it is classic him or her.
Yeah.
And then I want to know him or her because they sound like a hoot holler.
They're the sort of person I can get into classic situations with as well.
Exactly, yeah. And soon maybe it'll be classic us rather than classic me. Can you imagine?
Well, imagine. Classic duo.
Yeah.
I think this show is classic us right now, isn't it?
Yeah, this is
classic
us. This is classic us.
Oh yeah.
Maybe another one over here actually is always keep eye contact with somebody until they look away, reminding them that you are in charge. Unless it's a stranger, in which case you should touch their arm before the stare to establish the connection. Which is actually quite interesting, as Valerie does that in her shows a lot.
Yes. Also, part of the reason Valerie's not here today, she's in jail.
Yeah, she was touching people who were a bit too young.
Sex offender anonymous.
Yeah.
No longer anonymous.
no, Valerie Neelanchik. That's
also another reason Valerie couldn't make it today to this Comedy Soc show between the hours of 2 and 3 is because she was in a play between 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock. So obviously she couldn't make it to this.
Yeah.
That didn't stop me. I have a lecture right now. I could be learning about animal behaviour.
I don't know what.
They eating their shit, Ciarán. They eating their shit.
So I'm just, sacrificing for what's truly important.